Hi, friends. I'm Scott Giles, and welcome to Power Talk, my podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I cover topics related to spirituality, hypno-coaching, and the hypnotic arts and sciences generally. If you want to know more about my professional work, check out my website, which I'll tag at the end of this video. Today, I want to talk about the Veil of Maya. And no, I'm not speaking about the American metalcore band of the same name. Their music's kind of interesting, but that's not my topic. Instead, I want to talk about the ancient Hindu belief about the veil of Maya, the belief that we view the world through a series of distorting veils that prevent us from seeing what is actually true. Maya translates as illusion. The illusion is thinking that there's only one level of reality and that we know it by common sense. Now, in the most ancient spiritual practices, the goal was to pierce the veil of Maya and gain an awareness of what is beyond the illusions we perceive and mistakenly believe to be absolutely real. Now, as odd as it may sound, it turns out the ancient yoga and meditative masters were correct. Physicists tell us that at its fundamental level, reality consists of a random quantum foam of potentiality. This foam consists of things that may or may not ever manifest. What determines what actually exists as reality occurs through a process that we don't understand. But people who study physics in college will strive to comprehend this level of reality, the level of pure potentiality. At the next level, subatomic particles clump together into atoms, and we call collections of atoms matter. At this level of abstraction, which most of us learned about in high school, our universe consists of matter and energy in process. And in fact, matter and energy are even interchangeable. You can take a hunk of matter, for example, uranium, or even a hunk of wood, and transform it into energy by nuclear fission in the case of uranium, or just setting something on fire in the case of the wood. My point in all this is that what we perceive to be real isn't as simple as common sense suggests. There are layers of reality which we refer to for different purposes. The ancients were right. We perceive an illusion. Now, yes, something that physically exists is actually more empty space between the atoms that compose it than it is actual atomic matter. But we can't move through that empty space. A knife blade may be mostly empty space between the atoms of steel, but that blade can hurt you very effectively because the atoms will cut you and the empty space will not. Therefore, it's not useful to consider atomic structure during, say, a knife fight. On the other hand, in the blacksmith shop, the ratio of atoms to space in that blade may be very relevant when you are engaged in the project of forging better, denser steel. You always want to have your mind operating at the proper level of abstraction for the task at hand. Now, let's apply this to our mental and emotional lives. Helping people do this is really kind of what hypno-coaching is all about. Stuff happens and we react to it emotionally. Our emotional reactions arise in the limbic system in our brain, a very primitive part of the brain. All mammals have limbic systems, and so all mammals experience emotional reactions. People who have animal companions know all about this. If you startle a sleeping dog, you may get an aggressive response. even if in calmer moments the dog may love you and never wish to hurt you. Emotional reactions tend to come first. This happens to us as well. You get insulted or you get hurt. A misfortune occurs and you feel shock and loss. Perfectly normal. And your brain will react with an emotional state. Now, any therapist will tell you that this is normal, and knowing and recognizing what emotion you are experiencing is important. Really bright and emotionally sophisticated people can even put a name reliably to what they feel. They know the difference between loss, anger, betrayal, disappointment, or other feelings, and have definitions to distinguish between them. The larger your emotional vocabulary, the more successful at the game of life you will be. Knowing how you feel emotionally is very important. However, quickly reacting on the basis of your emotions will often get you into a world of hurt. Our emotions are a primitive information system. They give important information, but information that may need to be overruled by other information. There will be times when an emotional reaction is appropriate. A friend tells you horrible news about something bad, and your emotional reaction shows them that you do understand. But there are times when an emotional reaction is inappropriate. Someone's trying to pick a fight with you or demean you in public. A measured, thoughtful response, even a clever one, is the way to go at such times, rather than rising to bait. We need to temper our emotions with our thoughts and respond rather than reacting. Responding means functioning at one level of reality that's different from the emotional level. It does mean feeling, but also means thinking, remembering, and even empathizing, as well as calling to mind the touchstones of our own values and ethical code. This is possible, but it's hard to do. But it's possible because external events have no automatic access to your mind. They can't make you feel any particular way. Children will go around saying, "See what you made me do," or "You made me feel bad." But that's a mistake. What someone does is on them. How you react to it is on you. Or as the ancient philosopher Epictetus put it, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. There are different levels of reality. That is universal law. There is the quantum, the atomic, the practical, and the rules we use to navigate successfully depend on what level we are at. The physics lab, the blacksmith's forge, or knife fight, all valid levels, all different. There are different levels in our emotional life as well. There is the emotionally reactive level, and there is the thoughtful level of response. One needs to know when being at one level or the other serves one the best. Now, what helps me stay at the proper level in my mind, piercing the veil of illusion so that I'm functioning according to the rules of what I'm trying to accomplish, is I use a tool to set a mental frame. I use pre-planned images to get into a proper headspace for what I'm doing or wish to accomplish. To continue the extreme example, I want to be in a very different headspace when sparring with a martial arts opponent at a dojo than I'm in when I answer an angry email or consider a philosophical essay. So I use specific images in my mind. I call them gates to help set the scene. In hypnotism, these gates are sometimes called anchors. One of my gates is remembering what it was like to enter the dojo where I trained for many years. That image will put me in a fighting form headspace. Another, very different headspace is achieved by remembering settling into the reading room at the University of Connecticut Library. That triggers scholarly reflection. Whatever works to help you see through the veil of Maya and be in the right headspace for what you are doing can be a useful tool. So see through the illusion. We live amid a layered reality, and you always want to be in the right headspace for the task at hand. There are times when emotional headspace serves us well, and times when rationality is far, far better. Knowing when to shift from one to the other and how to shift is the key to tearing the veil of Maya. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject, and I'd like to invite you to join me. It does help me if you let others know about my videos, so please like, share, and subscribe. If I can be of help to you as a hypno coach, please feel free to reach out through email, my website, or my Patreon channel. Stay well and stay safe.